day and welcome to another edition of Citizens Movement Radio News. Today is Tuesday, the 1st of July, 2025. I'm Katie Chuma and ready to bring you the latest news and updates. Let's take a look at our headlines today. The nation remembers Father Zimbabwe on the 26th anniversary of his death. Zimbabwe needs wholesale reforms, not a change of another ZANU-PF face, says Mahere. Bulawayo citizens prefer Advocate Chamisa over Takwirei for presidency. Let's take a look at our stories in detail. Today marks 26th anniversary since the passing on of one of the country's founding fathers, Dr. Joshua Nkomo. Referred to as Father Zimbabwe, Dr. Nkomo played a crucial role in the struggle for independence and the struggle for democracy in the post-colonial state. Lopengula Makwekwe, former member of parliament Eric Gono, said the country could have taken a totally new direction had Dr. Nkomo emerged as the president in 1980. Gono said,
"Today we remember umdala wethu ubaba uNyongolo Mxabuko Joshua Nkomo, who died on this day 26 years ago. He was a revolutionary fighter. He was a gallant son of the soil. Had he not been rigged in the 1980 elections, I believe that Zimbabwe could have taken a completely different direction to that which was taken by Mugabe and his friends. Dr. Nkomo was a very astute leader. He was very clear on the political ideology that he fought for this country and his team. He was very clear on his willingness to empower the people of Zimbabwe. He was very clear on his will for a better, prosperous Zimbabwe. I think that we lost a great man there. We lost both in the founding elections of this country and in his death. Had he been for a moment in the Oval Office of this country, I think that Zimbabwe could be far much better than what we see today. We continue to pray that he rests in power. We continue to pray that his spirit look down upon the people of Zimbabwe, and we take a paradigm shift from the current abuse, from the current thieving, from the current maladministration and misrule that we're experiencing by ZANU-PF. If there is a way that his spirit can just descend on this country and help us have a turnaround, it's a prayer, because the people of Zimbabwe have suffered deeply under the current leadership.
Opposition official and former MP for Mount Pleasant, Honorable Fatai Mahere, said Zimbabwe needs a complete wholesale changes to the governance structure in order to move forward. Posting on her social platforms, Mahere said the 2017 COP has shown that Zimbabwe's political crisis cannot be solved by introduction of another ZANU-PF face. Mahere's comments comes in the wake of a campaign by ZANU-PF faction to replace the corrupt Emmerson Mnangagwa with Kudakwashe Takwirei, who is viewed by many as the corruption poster boy of the Second Republic. Bulawayo citizens said they believe Advocate Nelson Chamisa is the right man for the country's presidency. In an interview with our reporter Stephen Chuma, Bulawayo Ward 21 Councillor Tinevimbo Maposa said other political aspirants like Kudakwashe Takwirei are just drama, as people only want Advocate Chamisa. Let's hear the interview.
On that note, we hear that Emmerson Mnangagwa's preferred successor, Kudakwashe Takwirei, is saying the people who are not getting tenders are foolish. What's your comment on that?
No, those are the words of those who have been looting the country for years. And there's nothing that they can say except to say that. So we don't waste our time talking about those people. But the general feeling on the ground is that President Chamisa must come and take over.
But those in ZANU-PF are saying Kudakwashe Takwirei must become the next president. What's your take?
The generality of the people, they are clear about who should lead this country going forward. their hope and their trust in his President Chamisa. Full stop. Any other thing is drama to the people of Zimbabwe. We know their shenanigans. We know they'll use Stone Age, methods to remain in power. But people on the ground, they are clear on whom they should lead this country, and it's President Chamisa. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Councillor Maposa expressed concern over the rising cases of drug and substance abuse among youths, and there is need for all progressive citizens to speak out against drug and substance abuse. He was speaking at Iminyela grounds in Pelandaba Chabalala constituency, where Honorable Gift Siziba organized a football tournament to raise awareness about the vice over the weekend. Let's tune in.
Siyabonga ibizo nguthi Nebimbo Maposa ukansela ka Ward 21 in Pelandaba Chabalala constituency. We are gathered in Ward 13 dealing with the issues of drug abuse that are very pertinent in this time and age. We are aware that our young people are indulging in drug and substance abuse, but we are here to conscientize and make sure that we keep young people away from bridges and indulge in crime and drug and substance abuse. As we commemorate the Father's Day, we are privileged to have Honorable Gift Ostalo Siziba, who is our main person who is moving around the constituents, and we've gathered here to say to the community, we are not we are around, we are here, we are in the community. We are pushing the agenda of making sure that the community is aware of issues that is to do with the drug and substance abuse. In addressing those issues, we are here to say to the community, let's save our youths. Let's save to our tomorrow. Youths for today, they will shape their future. So we are here to say, our youths, let's come together and make sure we save this generation, we save our community. To our fathers, we have a role to play. And
Councillor, sorry to cut you short. Can you please tell us what is the position of the people in Pelandaba constituents when it comes to support for President Nelson Chamisa? What's their position?
They are very clear. Actually, they are pestering day and night to say, where is our leader? We want to hear him. He has to come on the ground. The support is overwhelming. They are saying he should come back. He should come back to lead from the front. They are saying, where is our leader? Vamfuna ravi, vamkhalela day and night uchamisa. But hey, sesipuzeni.
Thank you.
Comrade Blessed Geza is back. He said he will be live on air today at 8:30 p.m. tonight. If you want to hear him live, the Citizens Movement Radio channel is the place to be from 8:30 p.m. tonight. Please follow the channel using the link attached to this bulletin. Chief Justice Luke Malaba has directed all judges to attend training at the ZANU-PF-linked Chitepo School of Ideology, prompting serious concerns about judicial independence. The sessions scheduled for July 4 and 5 will include presentations from state security and government officials, which some judges believe compromise their neutrality and expose them to political influence. Judges have expressed dismay at what they see as an attempt to indoctrinate the judiciary and erode public trust in courts, with one calling the move a violation of constitutional values. We spoke to citizens to hear their views on this serious matter.
Hello Zimbabwe, hello citizens. Tony Shava here. Yeah, we've heard the story of Chief Justice Malaba, how he is instructed all the judges to go and attend Chitepo School of Ideology. I see it as a compromise in the person of the Chief Justice, because he's actually the one who is supreme over all the judges. He's actually the one who inaugurates the President of the Republic. So if such a person we will lack the understanding that Herbert Chitepo School of Ideology is a ZANU-PF wing. It's a ZANU-PF wing. It was created by ZANU-PF. It gets nested from the breast of ZANU-PF. It it leaves us with a lot of things to desire, a lot of things to be clarified. That's why President Advocate Nelson Chamisa always says Zimbabwe has been turned into a banana republic. We've lost purpose, we've lost vision, we've lost rule of law, because the ideology that is being taught at this school is actually a ZANU-PF ideology. It's something that cannot be imposed into people. People must make decisions on which ideology they want to follow. But now we see it is just like border gazing, whereby the youth are actually forced in most areas, in the rural areas, to go and study whatever they study there, but which helps them to propagate the ideology of ZANU-PF. And this is exactly what is happening, and there's going to be a lot of compromise, because remember, the law actually states that such people, such public leaders are not, people who hold public offices are not supposed to line with any other party. They are not supposed to be partisan. But now here they are going to study the ideology of ZANU-PF, which makes them partisan. And then it means all their knowledge is now compromised. Each time they work around things that are political and that is to do with government that is led by ZANU-PF, they will be biased towards ZANU-PF because they've been trained to do so. It's very unfortunate, and we are very sad about it, that the highest judge does that. Who then is going to rebuke him?
I am Linton Mwanaka, an ex-political prisoner. Malabasi directive to all judges to attend ZANU-PF trainings at ZANU-PF Herbert Chitepo School of Ideology can cause severe consequences, including erosion of trust. Citizens may lose faith in the justice system, leading to widespread disillusionment and unrest. Partisan bias. The justice system becomes politicized, favoring ZANU-PF's interest over fairness and impartiality. Unequal treatment. Certain groups or individuals may receive preferential treatment, where others, like us opposition supporters, supporters of Advocate Nelson Chamisa, face discrimination or unfair treatment. Suppression of dissent. We, the opposition voice, may be silenced, though we will not accept that. ZANU-PF wants judges to persecute us, undermining democratic principles. Undermining the rule of law, the justice system's legitimacy and effectiveness are compromised, potentially leading to social instability and conflicts. Lastly, Malaba can ultimately undermine the principles of justice, equality, and democracy. Thank you.
Hello, champion. How are you? The Herbert Chitepo, to start with, let me say, Herbert Chitepo is not a national institution. It's a partisan institution, a ZANU-PF institution. Herbert Chitepo is not University of Zimbabwe. Herbert Chitepo is not NAST. Herbert Chitepo is not Pindura University. It's not Midlands. Herbert Chitepo is an institution where people are being taught the ideology of a party, which is ZANU-PF. So, zvinotoshamisa kunzwa kuti jaji mukuru wemajaji munyika, head of judges, anoshedza vanhu kuti majudges kuti vaende ku an institution which is aligned to a certain party, an institution which is a pro-ZANU-PF. There is a proper and serious violation of the constitution of Zimbabwe. There is serious violation of our constitution. You know, even munhu aingonzwa kuti ZANU-PF and ED, they violate the constitution. But now it's now clear that they violated the constitution. Kana tikitaura judiciary, we call it as an independent body, just like the ZEC. Those are our independent bodies in this, in our country. And in the world at large, those bodies, they are known as independent bodies. But if their job to their mandate is being jeopardized by a certain part, everything in Zimbabwe is being captured, the system is being captured, every corner Mnangagwa is trying to capture. I don't know, maybe he's trying to create a one-party state. That is why he is against the constitution. He don't listen to the constitution. He is one-man band, one-man self, doing what he wants. He is the one who instructed Malawa kuti audze vanhu vaende kunotrainwa kuHerbert Chitepo School of ZANU-PF. It must not be called Herbert Chitepo School of Ideology. It's Herbert Chitepo School of ZANU-PF, not of ideology. So it's a shame. Shame on this. Shame on the ZANU-PF government. Shame on ED's government. Okay, thank you. Good day.
Citizens converged in Pinga South over the weekend to solidify the ground for opposition. The event was graced by Honorable Bekezela Maplanka, the keynote speaker, articulating on citizenocracy as a key pillar in the establishment of the new, laying out a citizen-centered roadmap to victory. Also in attendance were Matepeleland North citizen volunteering leaders under the leadership of Honorable Malikwa, including Village Street, farm or compound point persons. The Pinga residents said they remain clear and fully behind the leadership of President Advocate Nelson Chamisa. In Mutare, police yesterday arrested education rights activist Prudence Mazvita Sauriri, accusing her of organizing protests against the government for failure to address the crisis in the education sector. Accused Deputy Secretary General Munyarati Masiwa condemned the arrest of Sauriri and urged the government to instead address the crisis in the education sector. Masiwa said,
Yeah, indeed, we condemn the arrest of Prudence Mazvita Sauriri. Prudence is being alleged to have participated in a gathering with the intent to cause public violence. We condemn such action from the state. We condemn such behavior which continue to be exhibited by the state. We urge the government to instead look into the petition that was submitted by parents and teachers in Mutare, a petition which contained the appeal to the government to disband NJNC, the appeal to the government to introduce per capita grant to learners, the appeal to the government to restore dignity for teachers, the appeal to the government to address the crisis in education, which is a fact. We have a serious crisis in education. So parents as stakeholders in education, they have a right to look into how education is being managed in Zimbabwe. So we urge the government to stop arresting, harassing and intimidating all progressive citizens who ask for answers in how education issues are being treated in Zimbabwe. So we look forward for the release of Prudence without any conditions. We look forward for the government for police to drop all the charges leveled against these 13 citizens who are in Mutare, who are currently being alleged to have participated in a gathering with the intent to cause public violence. So Prudence is in custody, surrendered herself yesterday when he heard the rumors that the police was making effort to arrest her. So Prudence is going to appear in court tomorrow at 11 at Mutare Major Street. We continue to stand in solidarity with such progressive citizens. We continue to demand the government to to drop all the charges being leveled against the Prudence. Thank you.
Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema yesterday commissioned a 100-megawatt solar power plant that will help his country to solve the energy crisis. In Zimbabwe, Wicknell Chivayo was granted a US multi-million tender for a similar project in Gwanda, but vanished with the money without providing services. Opposition official Sam Kondongwe said Zimbabweans must not expect any meaningful developments under the corrupt ZANU-PF government. Kondongwe said,
the Zambian president, Hakainde Hichilema, yesterday commissioned a 100-megawatt solar power plant that will ease and assist that country to solve the energy crisis. While in Zimbabwe, such initiatives are given to people like Wicknell Chivayo, who was granted a US multi-million dollar tender for the similar project in Gwanda. But what is standing right there is only a shack. It's only a shack that was erected and is still standing. If you look at Botswana, the president of Botswana was speaking about increasing the pension funds for the elderly people. You notice that if you juxtapose these three nations, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Botswana, you'll see that we are the worst in terms of planning and management. You know, in Zimbabwe, everything that is said does not come to completion. Look at Chivayo, who was given this huge tender. He is still getting other tenders for other jobs that are supposed to be done. Yet the first tender that he was given to supply energy in this nation never saw the light of the day. And under Emmerson Mnangagwa, Zimbabwe must never expect any meaningful development save for this grandstanding of splashing cars to gullible and well ready people who are receiving those things because of the lack of the social fiber of our nation. You know, it is absurd to see a grown-up man kneeling down, you know, begging for donation from another man who is stealing the nation's coffers, who is milking the nation dry. The president of ZANU-PF, Emmerson Mnangagwa, is 86 and 7. He doesn't know what to do because he has got no people that are willing to make this nation move forward. What they are only looking for is a gap so that they can steal, they can milk the nation dry. The corruption has destroyed the fiber of the society, and it has destroyed even families. It has destroyed everything that we think will make this nation stand. We need leaders who make this nation shine again and will bring light every day to our homes.
In a show of people power, the Zimbabwean Community Fund raised US $10,000 to gift handicapped musician Greatman a car. This was after corruption-accused fake philanthropist Wicknell Chivayo turned down Greatman's request for a vehicle. Well-wishers responded by setting up a GoFundMe campaign that has successfully crowdfunded money for Greatman's vehicle. In our sports news today, Zimbabwe Football Association ZIFA has expressed sadness following the passing on of former Warriors midfielder Brian Banda, who passed away in a road accident on Sunday. In a statement released yesterday, ZIFA said it is deeply saddened by the passing on of FC Platinum captain Banda. Football fan and former MP Jefferson Chitando said the country's roads have become a death trap due to years of neglect by ZANU-PF government, which is resulting in many accident-related deaths. Chitando said,
all soccer fans, they were shocked, they were pained by the untimely death of Brian Banda, FC Platinum captain, who we believe had a bright future, and everybody was looking forward that he could be one of those local players who could be chosen to go and represent Zimbabwe at the AFCON in Morocco in December. But that could not be, as he died painfully in an accident. What is really paining and devastating to the people of Zimbabwe is that young people who are perishing in our roads, like recently we had Gary Mapanzure, who died in Masvingo. We had Tatenda Pinjis, another musician, very young, brilliant, who also perished in an accident. This is a sign that our roads are not to the standards. Our roads, if you travel in our major roads, they no longer have road signs. They've got potholes, patches. They don't have shoulders. So our roads are very dangerous, and the government is neglecting it. One thing which also pains us is that these examples which I have pointed, like Brian Banda, Tatenda Pinjis, Gary Mapanzure, they will die in a hospital because they fail to get adequate medical attention. Our hospitals are now empty. They are dilapidated. They don't have equipment. They don't have medicine. So eventually, those who had survived in an accident, they will painfully die in hospitals.
In Club World Cup round 16 matches played last night, Brazilian side Fluminense stunned Inter Milan 2-0 to advance to quarter-finals. Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal also shocked Manchester City, beating them 4-3 after extra time. Hilal will now face Fluminense in the quarter-finals. In matches to be played tonight, Real Madrid take on Juventus and Dortmund clash with Monterrey. To conclude our Citizens Movement Radio News, here are the headlines once again. The nation remembers Father Zimbabwe on 26th anniversary of his death. Zimbabwe needs wholesale reforms, not a change of another ZANU-PF's face, says Mahere. Bulawayo citizens prefer Advocate Chamisa over Takwirei for presidency. This is the end of our bulletin. Good night.